later that Toronto's an amazing city. So one of the few things that we could go to was the Body Shoe Museum. It's like this famous woman Body had this 4-story museum in downtown Toronto dedicated to shoes. Oh, go to their website. It's fantastic. You know, it's just everything shoes, you know, historical shoes, old shoes, new shoes. I got to see Napoleon's socks and Victorian slippers, and I mean, how to make shoes, Inuit shoemaking techniques. It was great. They had a special exhibit on successful Italians and their shoes. I bought that book to give to my cousin's husband, who's also my cousin. And so we had a great day there, and then we finally, you know, kind of came in as we were to the reception, which was at the Liberty Ball Hall, which is like the premier venue in Canada on their national day. It's our Labor Day weekend. And there's like 200 Sikhs all wearing like perfect blue dark suits, and of course their turbans. And then there was our family at one table, you know, kind of wearing gray suit. I went out and got a tie, and it was like Oprah, MC, music, everything. You know, they're all doing the lighthouse dancing, and you know, it's just you know, it was like I'd never seen, you know, the giant elephant made out of whatever jewelry, and it was just very, 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 very intense. So that was, and then like I said, it was time to spend time with my cousins and others, and since then we got to go to one other cousin's wedding in Arlington, which was I won't tell you that story, but I got to eat a lot of oysters, and so but that was kind of beginning of me taking trips with my mother, traveling around. I was her venue to keep exploring. The story was that from the family was she was the wild one. Aunt Connie stayed home. She took off and went to Washington, D.C. on herself. She married this Chinese doctor, came out east. So that's my simple story. I could go on forever, but I won't.
Please do.
Well, no, that's it. You can ask me other things later. The only thing I have to say is, just by chance, like I said, my friend Igor wants to be a poet therapist. He is a poet therapist, but that's his career calling. And I had him do one of his poetry Rumi card readings with my mom about middle of June that I videotaped. That's my thing, is videotaping. I had set the camera up, let him have it. I went to the other room and took a nap. I have that tape. It's like one of the last things we've done with my mom. I'm going to set it up here afterwards. It's like an hour long. It's too long to see in a situation like that. Eventually, I will upload it to YouTube once we get time. I really encourage you to see it. You can see how acutely aware and present my mom still is at 91. And oh well, this is a celebration of life. I won't tell you stories of her, you know, last week. It was really wonderful quality. I don't want, quality time seems like a cliche, but the time I spent with her near the later years of her life, and particularly the last week, I will share something very, very personal. This is kind of my mom's last conscious presence in the hospital, where this is like 2 o'clock on Wednesday morning, about a week before she passed. I heard her like look up at the ceiling and point and go, "Mama, Mama." And she was pointing at this weird Wi-Fi device on the roof. You know, we were going, "What is that?" I was asking the nurses, "Is that?" "We don't know. You think every room has one?" "I don't know." We moved her in the room into the next room the next day, and that's pretty much she was her spirit is gone, and she was just left in her body at that time. I had told that to Franny, and she said, "Oh yeah, that's like her sister, Aunt Connie, my Aunt Connie, her mom." One of the last things she said is, "Don't sit in that chair. Louie's in it." That's her brother, Louie. And that was the last thing she said. Then she went into that resting stage with no food and water that we give them nowadays. And Connie lasted 14 days. I thought Mom would last 15, or kind of come back to I kept on telling people the story of the movie Moonlighting, and this older son comes and tells his dying mother that he's going to get married, and she gets out of bed and goes to the kitchen and start cooking. Well, that was my hope. I was telling, no, she's going to like get up and we're going to do things for another few years. But that didn't happen. So.
You're getting married.
Yeah, you should.
Well, I was waiting until she died to get married. Now I can get married and have children. For some reason, I got the intuitive message that I was not allowed to have grandchildren until she's gone. So we were like, she was trying to outlive me, and I was trying to outlive her. The odds were kind of in her favor. But now that she's gone, it's like go. If there's any fertile eggs out there, let me know. I'm looking. I'm a good catch. I got a career. I read ears for a living. I'm not joking, but I am joking. I'm not joking. Like I said, I'll be happy to see you folks and stay connected with you. We don't know what the future is holding. I know that I plan to do something in memorial to my mother. We had one thing in common. Forget blood, forget relationships. We had one thing in common. We're total book freaks. If you wonder why you could actually walk into my mother's house, it's because she had me take out all the extra books, and now you can't walk into my house because they're clogging the way. So, thank you. And who wants? I don't see anybody in the. Oh, Igor already spoke. He's in the chair. Who wants this?
How do you read ears? Because you're an acupuncturist, so you don't hear.
What? Come on up. Come on up.
That's how you read ears. Okay, that's in it.
Oh, that's enough. How I read? Yeah, if you want your ears read, come to me later. Free complimentary ear readings today. Otherwise, you can schedule an appointment with me. Now that she's gone, I need the money. Take care. Hold on. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, so as Uncle Howard mentioned, he has no kids, and Uncle Arnold is in Fiji, so only my dad had a child, so I'm the grandson.
And Lynn doesn't have any kids either.
Oh yeah, Lynn doesn't have any kids either. So I tried to rack my brain and think about some kind of funny story or something, but I don't know, I couldn't really think of it. But you know, Grandma Louise, she always reminded me of a strong, independent woman who probably had anything and everything. I mean, if you walked into her house and you just searched around, I'm sure you were bound to find something where museums would be salivating to to find this hidden treasure. And one time I remember, usually I have to make this drive. You know, as a child, a drive from Orange County to San Diego, it's like a lifetime. And so when I arrived, I'd be tired, but Grandma Louise, she always had that energy. You know, she had that energy that she would bring, and she would just cheer me up. And one time I remember, this is when I was young, I was still playing the piano. I was completely in love with the piano, and I believe Jim also, he was an amazing piano player, right? So Grandma Louise really loved classical music. And at this time, I found some books, and it was for the piano, for Beethoven's 5th and Beethoven's 9th Symphony. Now, if you guys all know, a symphony on the piano, that's amazing. So I was infatuated with these books, and I just kept talking about them and saying, just, wow, I can't believe you could put a symphony in notes for a piano. And, you know, I just kept talking, and I was just like, so in love with these books. And then as I was about to go home, she's just like, here, take them. It's like, really? I could have these? It's like, yeah. I mean, you know, Jim doesn't need them anymore. I mean, he can't even play the piano anymore. And I think you would love to have these books. And so I know I still treasure those books, even though I don't play the piano anymore. But it will always be I remember I went home and I looked at them, and the notes were like a foreign language because it was so difficult, but I'll always remember that moment. And then the last moment, I remember speaking with her. Actually, I'm glad I got a chance to have her meet my wife. And as we were walking out, my wife noticed these black succulents that she had, and she's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, take them. Like, if you want black succulents, have them." Like,